Morning at NTV.
We're glad you're still with us here on Morning at NTV. For those that are just joining us, welcome on board. We are now taking note of trends in humanitarian need and funding, the challenges and imperatives in the humanitarian sector in 2024. I have a very trailblazing guest who will be sharing a perspective on how this work goes on. But in our preamble, the Global Humanitarian Overview 2024 is a comprehensive assessment of global needs, and it provides a snapshot of the current and future trends in humanitarian action for large-scale resource mobilization. This year, partners are appealing for a staggering $46.4 billion to assist 180.5 million people facing life-threatening and urgent needs. Severe food shortage has had wide-ranging implications, touching almost every region in the world. The cascading impact makes an already difficult situation even worse. Malnutrition and stunting rob an entire generation of children of normal growth, cognitive abilities, and adequate immunity, making it a major concern in this aspect, but also making the humanitarian need increasingly global. What is leading to this trend and what are particular stakeholders are doing about it? Stephen Keddi is the Chief Executive Officer and founder at the Keddi Foundation and joins us on set to discuss this matter. A very warm welcome to Morning at NTV, Mr. Keddi.
Welcome, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, sir. How are you?
And it's perfectly in order to continue saying Happy New Year, at least until the 11th of January.
Yes.
After that, it will become a broken record.
Yes.
Okay. Talking about New Year and some of the events that were rolling out. At the beginning of the year and even the end of the year, especially during Christmas, we see so many players go out and be able to offer a hand of help so that the underprivileged, the poor, or those living in communities that lack basic needs also be able to share with this. It is sometimes concerted effort, many times it's individual, but at foundation level, that means it's something that is deliberate.
Yes.
It is something that is well thought out,
yes,
and perhaps consistently every year is done. This year, or rather just about, was it yesterday?
Yes, yes.
The Keddi Foundation was at the Pan-African Square, and in Nansana. Tell us about what went on before we can get into the nitty-gritty of the challenges and the imperatives in the humanitarian sector.
Yeah, thank you, viewers of NTV. My privilege to be here in this studio of NTV.
You're most welcome.
Coming to your point, yes, yesterday we in the ghettos of Nansana, Ganda. There is a community skilling there. It's called the Kanyike, a skilling center. Okay. So as Keddi Foundation, we've been working with them for over a year, and making sure that we change the lives of the ghetto youth, those who are in the streets. You see most of them, they grab phones, ABCD. So a Kanyike Skilling Center, we partnered with NTV, Keddi Foundation, and then we get off those street kids and ghetto kids, we take them there, and then we teach them to do skilling, hands-on work. Some of them, they learn to do mechanics, driving, all kinds of what. Then after, they create up their own job. So that's part of Keddi Foundation core values of changing the lives of Ugandans in terms of serving humanity. So yesterday, we visited them, and then we had lunch together, and also to speak to them that life is a journey, doesn't stop at being on the street. And most of those kids, all those ghetto youths who are on the street, they don't go there because of choice. Yeah, they go there because of situations, the circumstances. And for example, like when we came to a Pan-African Square opposite to Safi here, most of them, they say, I am tired of being on the street. I'm tired of the ghetto. Take me back to school. Get me something to do. So we had that initiative yesterday it's one of our core plans this year to do a lot of community skilling, because it touches people's lives, it changes people's lives and mindset. So yesterday we were there, and from ghettos of Nansa and Aganda, we came to Pan-African Square. We spoke to those ghetto youths as well, and they are willing to leave the ghetto, they are willing to leave the street, and they get something to do, and some of them go back to school. So this is part of Keddi Foundation of changing people's lives.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm glad you talk about the fact that many want to go back to school. And then I think rather that there are those who might want to go back to school. There are those who want to do enterprise.
Yes.
When you're profiling their needs and aspirations, and for example, there are some who opt not to go to school. What is the available initiative for them? For example, is it you talked about skilling in mechanics and aspects like that. Do you engage them in what they've chosen might not be the best option, so they should opt for either education or rather education, because education is the critical imperative for any child? Do you face those challenges?
Yeah, we face those challenges, but computer skilling is also part of education.
It's part of education, yeah.
So we separate them. Now, for example, there are those who are still young, but they're on the streets. We don't take them for community skilling. We take them back to school.
Back to school. Those ones, they don't negotiate.
They don't negotiate.
Okay.
We decide for them. And then there are those who came to street or to ghetto when they had already dropped out of school, but they need something to be to learn. So we take them to the community skilling, now like that one of Kanyike skilling. So in the Kanyike skilling there are many, like they have mechanics, they have driving, they have making cakes, a saloon, a lot of things.
Okay.
So when we take them there, we ask individually their choice where they wish they would want to do. So if someone say me I want to learn to make a cake, me I want to learn how to drive, how to do mechanics, or whatever, something of that kind. So we separate them and then according to their wishes. But we make sure that we teach them to do something. At the end of the day, these are the people that will change the community.
That is right.
Yes.
When you talk about changing the community, it comes down to sustainability of the process of humanitarian endeavor.
Yes.
Or being able to mobilize children and the disadvantaged. What is the follow-up mechanism? If, for example, you are in the ghetto today and you're able to identify at least 100 children, and then they are taken through a skilling program. When they graduate from that skilling program and they go on to begin to work or to go further into their education, what is the follow-up mechanism that ensures there is a support pipeline? For example, what I know is that if somebody was supported by an organization and they went on to become engineers later in life, there must be a way they return to the ghetto and be part of the education and the inspiration of some of these. Is there a sustained program that allows for the beneficiaries to return and offer inspiration? Yeah,
there is. There is, because like yesterday, one of the ghetto youths that we trained from that very Nasana Ghetto Skating Center, they made up a catering something. So they are the same people company. They are the same people that provided the food.
Okay.
And when they come, they also come and speak to these people and say, please, we also like this. We can do this. So there's that program as well.
Okay. How is your work complementing government efforts in bettering the conditions of the underprivileged? Is there a collaboration framework with the government or any government agencies? And this comes down to the greater question of funding. how is the funding mobilization? Is this a personal endeavor from Mr. Keddi, being the fact that I see Keddi Foundation?
Yes.
Or has Keddi Foundation transformed itself so that it can stand alone from Mr. Keddi? Is it the case?
I think that's not the case, but apparently I'll start by funding. Apparently most of the fundings is from me and individually, because I grew up having that heart of giving.
Okay.
And the little I earn, I set apart 30% of what I earn to invest in humanitarian work. And then as I started from last year with this child Shakur, we've been having partners who have
Shakur is the boy, was it the Soroti boy?
Palisa boy, yes.
Okay.
So from there, we've been having partners, especially from abroad. I have billionaires who are partnering with me.
Okay.
And have come on board, and that's why they were so impressed of my initiative, and to see that a young man from Africa, he offers to serve humanity, and they're on board. So some of these fundings, apparently we are doing both Keddi Foundation and partners. Yes, but about collaborating with government, apparently there is no such initiative. But it's our humble request or appeal to government that we look forward to work with them, because it's also part of our request to government. Yeah, because when you look at government has the capacity to do this, but sometimes they lack partners whom they can partner together, and then they work together. So apparently there is no such collaboration, but
it is something that you're pushing.
There is something that we are pushing. Yeah, and what we are doing is also we are paying back to government, because the government has given us peace, has given us protection. So as a citizen, there is nothing we can pay government, but apart from helping its people in terms of changing the Ugandan's life, something that kind.
When we come to the interventions that you're undertaking, you speak about Ganda, Nansana Ganda, you speak about Nachivubo Usafi, you speak about the Pan African Square and the ghetto youth in Katwe. Is this your area of operation alone, central region, or the Keddi Foundation is looking out for other places? And when you do that, could you help us understand across Uganda, where is the dire need for humanitarian aid? Where are people most underprivileged? That we should say, for example, if there is any donor out there who is watching NTV, Morning and NTV today, and there is a chance to intervene, what are these places that require immediate intervention and action in order to alleviate the condition of those who are underprivileged?
Thank you so much. Actually, we started along the way, but anybody who is watching Keddi Foundation, watching us, would want to know who is Keddi, or what is the Keddi Foundation stand for. The Keddi Foundation is a non-profit organization, and we stand to serve humanity in 4 core objectives. One is relief and disaster.
Relief and disaster.
2 is water and sanitation. 3 is health. 4 is education. So in education, community skilling falls under education. So Keddi Foundation serves humanity all over the country, Uganda. Not only Katwe or Uganda, whatever, but we are all over the entire country. That's all the area we want to cover. Now coming to your question, where a donor, someone who is watching us at NTV Morning, where we feel based on the experience that we have been doing all over the country, especially mostly in Eastern, we see that in the area of health, we really need to do something all over the country. Area of health, we've seen that there are a lot of people are dying in terms of cancer, heart attack, and then when you come to maternal health, when you go to those hospitals,
the ones in the rural areas,
the one in the rural areas is very, very worse. And second, that will be water and sanitation, especially in the
safe water.
Safe water, especially in the rural areas. You find that most of the wells, boreholes are not working.
For example, which areas specifically? Because when you say water, somebody might grapple to understand the extent of the problem, but if they can, for example, put a place and an image to it, for example, say I come from Butaleja, and we consistently suffer floods in the area, but the canal system, especially within the rice scheme in Doho, sometimes is overwhelmed. So when there are shortages of water in an area that has the river Manafa making its way through, one would wonder what is failing where. Is it the case of inability to do the canals, inability to put the water straight in a protected area so it is safe for drinking? Yeah, there must be areas that need urgent attention.
And according to us as Keddi Foundation, most of the rural areas previously there have been boreholes, but all of them got spoiled. And now you find that a big community where over 1,000 people, they no longer have that boreholes.
1,000 people for one borehole, which is also spoiled.
You find that they walk over kilometers to go and look for water, and you find that some of them they share this water with cows, animals. But as Keddi Foundation, we came up with that initiative of repairing the boreholes in the rural communities, such that if you repair just one borehole, over 1,000 people they'll be getting that water. So that area is very, very, very also essential. And then we'll talk maybe on the area of relief and disaster.
Relief and disaster,
like now you've mentioned, when it rains, floods of water.
It's a nightmare, no doubt about it.
Yes, it's a nightmare.
What are your interventions in that area?
We've been intervening. Apparently, there is no floods in Bunyole.
For now, we've been safe for some time.
But in Erigon and Lwenzori, we've been having landslide ABCD, and we have really intervened. Last year we went there, the NTV covered us. So, and when you come to education, the focus of community skilling is very, very important. That's why even our group president has put much emphasis on on community skilling, because it's what built the nation. Look at the country like Korea. It was built based on community skilling, because there are many job creators. South Korea, there are many job creators than job seekers. But why? Because everyone learned to do something. So we are focusing on that as well. But there are many challenges in the area of serving humanity.
I was just going to ask you that. As you're going about mobilizing funds, as you're going about designing interventions, because you have to look at what the community needs in order to give exactly what are the specific challenges that you face as we wind up this conversation?
The specific challenge basically is funding as well, because you find that apart from the new donors that have just come in, previously I've been just one person, one sponsor. So you find that there's this need, there's this need, there's this need, and then you find that the 30% you set apart to help the humanity is not what is not enough. But we thank God that many funders are now joining,
coming on board.
and my ample appeal as we conclude is that especially to fellow Ugandans, to fellow tycoons or billionaires out there in Uganda, that you can also do something. You can set up just 1% or 10% or 2% and then you help a community, because giving is a heart. When you give, you receive. And there's a lot that we can do. Like we had our Christmas in one of the baby's home in Mbalegangama there. It was so touching, just sharing a meal with that community. It was life changing. So my humble appeal to all Ugandans and all over the world, that together, let's come together, we serve humanity and we change the lives of people, because God has given you the ability to make money, to have money. Don't waste that money in the bar. Don't waste that money in something that is not worthy, but get something and change someone's life.
All right.
It will be a blessing.
Okay.
I want to say thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Keddi, the CEO and founder of the Keddi Foundation, on sharing your perspectives on humanitarian work, and making that clarion call for everybody out there. You don't have to be a millionaire or a billionaire. Even if you are a thousandaire, please. 1%, 2%, 5% to 30%, depending on what you're comfortable with, can go to charity and be able to help the condition of an underprivileged person out there. It's compassionate work, and no doubt changing a life or two is commendable. Stay with us. Let's go for a break. We have a lot coming up, including what is on the ground with our man across the city. We'll be right back.